Let's go!
Well,
good morning, everyone. Today on the show, we have Michael Upfold from Norfside Entertainment.
Norfside.
Not Nerf. Norfside Entertainment for those that just maybe thought they heard something else.
Nerf you up, bro.
Tell us, Michael, what should we expect today?
Oh, Michael's a great guy. Just to know anyone named Michael.
Hold on, you're referring about yourself when you say Michael?
Listen.
Okay.
Michael is a great guy. Okay. The name Michael means he who is like the Lord, which means he's a powerful guy. He's the guy who's changing the game. Michael Upfold tonight is a self-starter, someone who went from construction to building a record label and beyond. So he had a chance to kind of share us what he's looking to do with his empire, what he's trying to build.
Yes.
Big dreams, big aspirations. And what I loved about the time we spent with him is he said the word research.
Right.
Research is part of his game.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. Up next on Standing in the Six.
Straight out of the T-Dot.
That's what it is.
Live from the six boroughs.
Don't go nowhere.
For sure. Welcome to Standing in the Six with your hosts Michael and Constantine.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to Standing in the Six.
Man, you just dive in.
You got to dive in, man.
This guy
you
literally.
got to dive in. That's everything about Mondays. Mondays are all about diving in. And today, again, we got our special feature, Jerry, since it's becoming a more of a rarity commodity here.
Well, I have a day job, so I got to get back to work.
Can you? Man, I miss that voice.
It's such a nice voice.
I mean, sorry. We miss you. We miss you.
I missed you guys as well.
Man, I miss that voice.
Well, on to better things. Okay? We have some amazing things
Feeling
to talk
emotional. I'm going to need a therapist.
we got some amazing things to talk about, man. I mean, first of all, the city is literally on this magic dust cloud of just winnership.
Of winnership.
Winnership.
That is. Should that be a T-shirt?
Should be a T-shirt.
The city is on a magic dust cloud of winnership.
I mean, look, yesterday
The Six.
Yes, the Six. Yesterday it was at Indigo Chapters, and
Which one was it? Chapters or Indigo?
It's the same. And there it is, McLean's special edition, NBA champion, the Raptors, and it's still surreal to me that they are who they are. Interesting fact here. I looked back at 2 episodes ago. You said the Raptors were going to win in Game 5. I said the Raptors are going to win in Game 7. However, they won in Game 6.
Yes. So between the both of us,
We did it.
we did it. We did it.
Oh, my head's going to explode.
Yes. So
Nothing to do with Kauai.
yeah, that's right. Now the
Yeah.
big news is, and we will find this probably in the next 2-3 weeks, maybe next week. Who knows? Whenever this gets released, but will Kauai sign with the Toronto Raptors? That's the big thing. That's kind of like everyone's talking about right now. Will he sign?
My guess he will.
Ooh, you know what? And we've learned to trust that gut.
Just based on what I've been reading and what he said and how he's been treated by the Raptors organization, he was really happy about coming up here and with his injuries, and they gave him time off and load management, and they really took care of him. So I think I don't think it's always about the money, because Toronto has the money to pay him, but in the end, I think he just wants to be looked after.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that goes to his family core values, just kind of not just being an asset of the organization, right?
Well,
You
he's okay.
Which sometimes, I mean, athletes are known as, they're just thoroughbreds. They're basically. Yeah.
In a heartbeat, but they are employees. I'm paying X amount of dollars to have you do this for my team.
Yeah.
So you are an employee, but as an employee, I mean, like, you look after your employees, and the more you look after them, the more they're going to perform for you. So, and to me, it's like they looked after him, and look what happened.
Did you hear that? To all those listening and viewing, look after your employees.
Look after them.
Okay, that was for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for dropping that.
Well, listen.
But it's true, though.
They say
That's 100% true, though. I totally agree with you, Jay.
And they say that who he is as an individual, and we're always talking about leadership. He is the epitome of an excellent leader. He stays calm in the midst of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
He motivates his people to take the win. He leads by example. All signs of leadership.
He's calm.
He's cool. We just did it. Kauai. There's your T-shirt right there.
Oh, what a
But
collective.
speaking of being calm in the middle of a storm, I just feel it. This whole weekend, I felt it in my spirit, just talking to certain people. we could get a little serious right now in the sense of there's people out there right now, they're dealing with things all the time, and new obstacles hit you. A lot of people were very, very open to some clips that we put up of Faisal when we interviewed him last week.
Okay.
About going through struggles and just pushing through and not giving up.
Faisal Karmali was our guest last week, sergeant with the Toronto Police Force.
That's correct. And I'll say this, for anyone listening right now, if you are going through something and, how am I going to get through this? You don't see the answer, push through, okay? Just push through, because at the end of the day, it's so easy to give up. It's so easy. And if you even relate it to anything, like the Raptors, I mean, any organization, any person, any obstacle, you just can't give up. You got to you got to jump over that hurdle.
Exactly.
You got to jump over that hurdle.
Winston Churchill, I guess during World War II, I remember reading this. He had a famous quote that when you're going through hell, keep going. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and maybe that, I don't know, it's funny. Sometimes it's we love to joke around.
Yes.
Sometimes life is hard.
It is.
It's really difficult.
It is.
It's amazing for the city what's going on with the Raptors and everything. But yeah, that is a really cool thing. If you're going through hell, keep going, because you get nothing from folding your hands and trying to win sympathies or feeling sorry for yourself. I have never gotten anything in my life by feeling sorry for myself.
Right.
So I usually do that just for the first 2 hours, and then I get on with my day.
Right. Well, the saying, the saying, "Suck it up, Buttercup," right?
Yes.
I mean,
that's
literally,
a T-shirt.
Yeah, but
Jerry, that's your shirt. I
Yeah,
love that one.
Absolutely.
But when you hear about that, literally, it's look.
But his shirt, it's spelled backwards so that when he looks in the mirror, it's legible. So it's not for anybody. It's "Suck it up, Buttercup."
Yeah. Well.
Yes, ma.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's important. It's important because at the end of the day, you just want to push, man. You want to push.
It's true.
And we're here to push you.
Yes,
okay?
we are here. Let's
call
do it again.
1-877. No, but seriously, we're literally. I want people to hear these words and understand you can push through obstacles. I mean, because obstacles come in any shape and form, whether it be through health, whether it be through challenge you're going through home, whether anything that happens,
relationships,
anything at all,
career.
Yeah, you just got to push through, man.
Yeah, it is true. There's always what do they say about no matter how bad the day is, it's going to end and a new one's going to start.
That's right.
That's you can't stop that. So
That's
things
right.
will get better. I forgot who it was. It might have been Quincy Jones who said that at some point he was at the point of he was at the end, he hit the wall, and some lady who was cleaning the office said, "You suck it up, it'll be better tomorrow." Literally, and that changed his life. I'm 100% misquoting. It's not Quincy Jones.
That was it.
But it was literally a huge mom. Okay. So it was a huge prominent figure that you
Yes.
would never ever think
Right.
got to the end of themselves, and some random person that was just passing by set them on their course, which is the reality. Suck it up. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just get through the next day and the next day. That's all you have.
Right.
Is the present. It's a gift.
Listen, to me, the gifts have to be embraced.
Yes.
They have to.
And that's why I've embraced you.
Mike, that's so amazing. If I could hug you right now, I would.
Well, we can.
But I don't want to.
Oh my God, I came for this.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well, look-
jealousy is so ugly.
I know,
My
eh?
goodness.
I know. By the way, if anyone can't see right now, Jerry is sitting on a nice, beautiful couch.
Yes.
Okay.
Fully clothed.
Fully clothed.
Okay.
How
Thank
how does
God.
it feel, Jerry, to be on the couch?
I want
right
to get
now?
back in my chair because now that we've made arrangements, I realize I can go back into the chair I normally sit in.
Oh, really?
This couch is really uncomfortable.
Is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Well,
You're
know
not
what?
an employee, so we don't have to treat you well.
That's right.
Exactly. And the show's called Standing in the Six, Jerry. So you could be
Yes.
standing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, then you guys can stand as well.
Exactly.
No, that's all good.
Listen.
Well, look, enough about chairs and seats and couches that we bought from Wayfair. Today, today we're going to be talking to a wonderful guest who we don't know. Usually, we have some small idea who we're going to be talking
At
to.
least, or we've met them a
that
couple
we've
of
met
times.
them. So this might be awkward for us. I mean, how do we ask him
Like,
questions?
how do you meet someone for the first time?
How do you meet someone?
Jerry, what do we do?
Well, this guy's in the music industry. It's great.
Oh.
I mean, I think it's awesome.
That's
I mean,
right.
he's a producer.
Exactly.
He is
Self-starter.
a promoter.
Self-starter.
Self-starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does he record as is he a recording artist or is he just a producer?
He's a label, I think. He's a
He's a
label.
label?
Yeah.
Okay.
Norfside Entertainment.
Which is, we'd be curious to hear. A lot of people who start labels and stuff are musicians themselves.
Well,
so.
exactly. So,
Yes. And he's also, his name is Michael Upfold. So we're gonna find out a little about who Michael is. Okay, we're gonna find out about some of the success that he's accomplished, because he has definitely succeeded some things, and he's actually has 2 locations now. It says one in Los Angeles and one in New York, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's New York.
That's
New York
right.
In America and Los Angeles in the
Yes,
States.
both are in the U.S.
Not-
for
not-
those Canadian listeners.
Not Northern
they
Ontario.
are state.
That's New York, not Syracuse, New York.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
So why don't we bring him in then and just see who this man is?
Okay, yeah, let's see the guy who shares my name, and I'm totally fine to share this set with another Michael.
Jerry, are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Thanks for asking me, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Well, good morning, everyone, on this beautiful day today.
Yes.
Isn't it a beautiful day today?
It is. It is.
It
It is. And I'm very happy today, as I'm always happy. You have to be happy.
You have to, yeah.
You have to be happy. But I'm very happy today because we have Michael Upfold.
Yes.
From
Thank you.
Norfside Entertainment.
Hey.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
Going
it's
on.
funny.
He the North.
Yeah, there's many times it's actually Norf.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I actually, even when I just said Norfside, it's like,
Yeah.
East Side. But let's just jump in right now. You are a label,
Yeah.
okay?
For sure.
And tell us about what you do,
A
man.
record label.
A record label.
When you say someone's just a label,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
Record
a
label.
That's
label.
all
You are
good. It's
not
all
a
good.
label.
It's all right.
You are not just a label.
you're not just a label.
No.
Thank you.
You're a
Okay.
record label, and
Yeah.
doing a little bit of reading, and we always like to say doing security backgrounds.
Yeah.
We did your background, man.
Yeah.
And I have to say, did he check out, Mike?
He did, but
I
in
did.
grade 4, when he cut Dora's bag, I mean, that's a knock on your record there.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
it wasn't nice to cut her bag strap
That's right.
while she was running for the bus.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
He's a fast guy.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this first. Norfside.
Yeah.
Tell me about that name. How did that even come into existence?
So I'm inspired by a lot of Atlanta music, just kind of the way they hustle down there, and that's where the word sort of came from. Was just from the South, right? So I was in Atlanta last summer, and I've had the name ever since the beginning. I was trying to figure out, okay, I live in the North, what's gonna, I was just trying to look for a name. I didn't want to be cheesy or anything.
yeah.
And like I listened to the Migos from like day one, and they're
Yeah.
from the north side of Atlanta, right? So
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool, we could north side, and then I was thinking about the Raptors too, we the North, and it just kind of put it to Northside Entertainment.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
The stars aligned, as they
Yeah.
said.
When did you kick this off? When did Norfside come into existence?
Yes, so September 24th, 2017.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love the precision. See
Yeah.
the date?
September
Yeah.
24th.
That's my
Yes.
adoption day. That was my 22nd year in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
St. Vincent.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there we go. An islander.
Nice.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, right? Is Tim
Uh,
Duncan? No, he's from St. Croix.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay. So 2017.
Yeah.
September 24th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
24th.
Yeah.
You have this. Northside Entertainment becomes Northside
Yeah.
Entertainment. But what led to Northside Entertainment becoming what it is?
Yeah, like what were you doing before that?
Yeah. What was?
Man,
Yeah.
everything. So I was I had a chef's license. I had a real estate license. I was in construction.
Yeah, forklift. So forklift
yeah, like
license.
everything, every single job, just like trying it out. And it was funny too because I was always the one who had like somewhat of a business growing up. I have parents, I have family, but they weren't necessarily always there,
Yeah.
And we'll dig into that later. But it was a lot of just me just hustling and trying to figure it out, sleeping on couches. I've slept outside for like 100%. Definitely like, slept outside. And just going through, it was that time where I was like, yo, you got to figure it out soon, when you're coming up to like 22. I'm like, cool. I always loved music and it was always in the back of my head. So I was like, all right, I'll do something in music. I don't want to be an artist right now. There's so many people who are musicians and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, well, I could be a manager. And that was the first thing like I ever searched was how to be a manager.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Google search, which is weird. Like it just told you a list of things. And from there, that was on the 24th, that whole day, I just spent planning everything. And yeah, that's how it kicked off. Just so.
I love it, man. Google could be the start of many beautiful things.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
if you're trying to,
Yeah.
in the information age.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who literally moved out of Toronto, moved North Brampton, and
Right.
she married a guy who's from Markham, and they just said,
Right.
let's get a farm. And they literally Googled how to live on a farm.
Yeah.
And they have
Yeah.
110 acres, live on
Yeah.
a farm. And no joke, they literally, from YouTube videos, from Google, they learned how to look after livestock, everything. So
Well,
there you go.
now that you're a manager,
Yeah.
would you be open to managing me?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go.
Crazy reggae artists right now. Crazy reggae.
um,
Want to give a little sample?
No, not really.
Wheel
not
it.
really, not really.
Come on.
Nah, Mike, listen, I'm deflecting right
You're
now.
never shy on Mondays.
Yeah, look, so we know about Norfside Entertainment on
Yeah.
September 24th, got
Yeah.
in existence, and
Yeah.
we know that you Googled management.
Yeah.
How does music play into all this?
Music. All right. So through everything that I've been through, being homeless, being a construction guy for like $20 a day, which is not a lot, just everything that I've been through, there was always music. You know, the only thing that kept me like alive, to be honest with you, was music. You know, I lost a lot of people, including my older brother, cousin. So a lot of things in my life have just been around music, and the only thing that kept me alive is music. So,
Wow.
Is there a special, like, kind of any special genre of music that you kind of, gravitate towards?
I would say hip hop. That's just kind of what I grew up on. You know, Biggie, Jay-Z for sure.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, yeah. You know, a couple guys. Yeah, they're around.
yeah.
But I listened to everything though, because being a label, I had to learn when I grew up, I was in the choir. My mom loves opera, so I listened to everything.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
for sure.
So well versed. You had a good ear.
Yeah. So I had to listen to everything to be a good manager at the beginning, so I could tell people what's going to work and what's not going to work. And that was just like not even just being good at it. It just off the bat, I was just it worked. I didn't
Okay.
even have to work hard at just understanding music.
Yes.
It just came to life.
Let's rewind it back. You mentioned
Yeah.
you were homeless. Okay.
Yeah,
And look, I worked with the homeless population in the city for 17 years.
Yeah.
So, you hear everything, right?
Yeah,
How did you end up homeless?
So I moved to Toronto 2012.
Okay.
I lived in London, Ontario before, so I'm adopted.
Okay.
Moved to London, Ontario, went to a military school for
Wow.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I came back to London. And I was wild. I was just wild. It was too
Yeah.
much. So my mom kicked me out,
Okay.
but she actually sent me back to my birth parents, which is pretty awkward, So,
Wow.
and this was like, I met them 2 months before that.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I'm living with the people who originally gave me up for adoption again.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, in North York. So, and it was just that, yeah. And like, I was in a privileged house before.
Yes.
And going to North York, the area that I was staying in is a lot different. It was, so my mentality and the way I move was completely different than my family.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't understand it, and I didn't understand them. So for the first summer, I was just, like couch surfing, sleeping here, sleeping there, thinking it's all good because I'm young and I had money or I had the, support at home, but I didn't. And the summer after that is when both families were like, no, you're old enough. You got to figure it out, get a job or do something. We're
Right.
not gonna pay for you. This family couldn't. This family could, but
Right.
so that's that's what led me to. Being
Wow,
homeless.
man. Are you
Yeah.
still connected to,
Yeah, 100%.
both?
Yeah. We're cool now. Everything's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me after the label, kind of, just following my dreams and being motivated.
Yeah.
I think it showed them that like he's not gonna be what we thought possibly.
Right.
Because I can for sure looking back, I wouldn't have known if I was gonna make it, if I was gonna be out there for the rest of my life for sure. I could 100%, but I'm glad that that's not the case.
Wow,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you found your way.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
And music was that piece.
Yes.
So tell me how the label started to come together, like the business of the label, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times we always talk about this, people jump into things.
Yeah.
Right? They'll say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start my own lemonade stand.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
don't
It
realize.
didn't work out for me.
It didn't. No, it didn't. Neither
No.
for myself.
Right.
Mine was too sweet.
I priced mine too high.
Mine was too sweet.
Yeah.
It's all right. You got to get the bag.
Yeah. There you go.
It's all good.
So what happens is people jump into something
Yeah.
and they don't do the planning, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
a huge piece
Yeah.
of success, right?
Yeah.
So what did you do to plan to build Norfside Entertainment and tell us about, the victory of your first signing?
So I just dove into everything. I had almost no money. People were looking at me like, yo, we don't know what you're going to do. You had a real estate license, construction, this and that. So people were just looking at me, even my best friends too. They're like, he's probably just, I don't know. You know what I mean? He's probably just doing his thing
Yeah.
and he's going to do that for the rest of his life. So I had nothing else to do but to dive into everything. So I spent all my money to go to Atlanta, to New York, like really.
Where were you? I'm a geographical person. Where were you when you made the decision? What was going on when you're working construction?
Yeah.
And you make that decision.
I was in.
What was happening? From what you remember?
I was. I'm trying to think of the intersection. It was definitely. It was close to. I think I might have been in Maple.
Yeah.
And I did custom glass. I remember the guys were joking. They're like, "Man, you're dumb," and so on and so forth. Like you're slow. I don't do construction. I'm not a construction guy. You know what I mean? So I wasn't good at it. But these guys were doing it for their whole lives. So man, this guy's slow. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
And they were saying that the whole summer. So I was just like, man, I'm not dealing with that at all. So then I went home to like my little room for rent, like tiny little thing. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna just start an empire, and I never went back to work that. Yeah, I've never worked for anybody else.
So you just made a decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is has to be, because like, what else am I gonna do? I've already done everything except fly a plane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's been many record label empires built out of one little room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
absolutely.
from there, like everything, I remember walking, because I had no money. So I remember walking 3.5 hours on the Danforth to come downtown to meet an artist and make it look like I know what I'm doing, to possibly go to a show and get paid 10% off of like maybe 100 people. So maybe that's like $10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I did that for the first, like, from September to November. But when Jay-Z was here for the On the Run tour, I think too, I can't remember what one of the managers, Lenny or something like that, was just around Yorkville here, and I was bugging them just to, I started a label, you're ambitious, so you're trying to talk to everybody, like, all right, cool, well, that's interesting, give me your email and whatever, so on and so forth. So every single little move that I did, I would email it to everybody that I could, including people at Rock Nation or Lenny. And then I heard back in this almost Christmas, it was like the beginning of December, that they had an event, which was the Grammys, and they got myself an extra ticket, like a seat filler.
Yeah.
So they basically got me into being a seat filler. But the crazy part about that is like, I was front row.
Wow.
And I sat a few people over from Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Diddy, Nas. That was the moment. So before I even signed anybody, before any of that,
You had
I remember
exposure to it.
Yeah, I remember just like saving all my money, going to New York. I got this crazy hotel and they upgraded me because the person, whatever, canceled. So they gave me this penthouse suite in Manhattan. I had no money, like nothing at all.
Yeah.
And then we go to the Grammys. There's about 400 seat fillers, and they take myself and one other person from like the very top of Madison Square to the very bottom to like the floor seats. I'm like, man, it's like either there's going to be no seats for me, or I'm going to be sitting next to somebody crazy. They're like, yo, you got like 30 seconds to go sit beside Kendrick and whatnot while the commercial's running. So I remember just like walking straight down the aisle and like sitting 4 over from Kendrick and his wife, and then TDE, and then Jay-Z, Rihanna. And then, I was sitting there for like a good, the whole thing, just like, this is it. I got to do this.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah.
Exposed. Amazing. Are you familiar with what a seat filler is?
Well, the obvious would be that you're filling a seat that for the camera, right? For when they're not. Is it when they're not filming? It just
when they're up on stage.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, but the crazy part was like all the other seat fillers were being moved. Like, all right, so Kendrick goes, all right, seat filler, boom, and then so it's like
they're
musical
swapping them
chairs.
out. Yeah, they're
I
swapping
was
them
planted there for the full thing. Nobody talked to me. Nobody did anything. I was just there. At the time, remember the Salt Bay guy?
Yeah.
He was right behind me.
Okay.
I remember looking right back, and this guy was just there. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
The
That's
guy-
like when he was popping.
The guy
too.
gets a seat for flicking salt. Like,
Yeah,
I don't get it.
yeah. So that was the moment. I remember that, and I actually got a small job at, I'm trying to think, Polo, to be able to go to New York
Okay.
for a month. So I finessed that, which is it's all right. So
Okay.
I want to stay forever, so on and so forth. But the interesting part was 2 days ago, headquarters at Ralph Lauren emailed me saying they want to purchase some of our music or have it played at their stores. And I remember the manager there told me I would never make it.
Okay. Tell me about some of this music. Tell me about some of this music right now. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of music is this?
So Claire Mortefi is the music that they've reached out for. See the Signs, we released that last year in November 18th, I believe. I think it's sitting at 70K right now streams.
Okay.
Claire Mortis from Vancouver.
Okay.
She was managed by I want to say Nelly Furtado's old manager.
Okay.
And we met at a show that when I was walking back and forth, like on the Danforth, like for real. Met her at a show. And I just started helping out behind the scenes. I was super dedicated, so on and so forth. And then that led me to releasing her music or their music. And yeah, that's how it kind of transpired.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy.
So tell me, like, I just want to get an idea, like how you got the connection to starting to go after artists to sign with you, and then being involved in their music.
So the first year, I had to learn kind of the legal part behind it.
Yeah.
So I released maybe 1 or 2 songs. I booked a lot of shows.
Okay.
But I'll get into the releasing music. I had to learn legally, like what's, licensing and what's this and what's that.
Right.
And I've always wanted to release music for people. I don't have people signed to me directly.
Okay.
But I do release their music, which makes people feel comfortable that I'm not, you know what I mean? You don't want to go through that situation where you're just signed to a label and they're robbing you. I want to be able to help people, which is working for everybody. You know what I mean? I want to be able to help people, but I have a reach now. And especially with the platform, if you release it under my platform now, after all the hustling and doing this and that, people will respect it on top of the artist.
Okay.
So you're respecting both parts instead of seeing a big label and an artist you don't know, where now you have a label that you do know and an artist you do know, and you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I'm a musician right now, and I want to get more exposure.
Yeah.
How does this interaction happen with me right now? I want to come to you. I say, Michael, I want my music to be known.
Yeah.
How do you help me?
So I will I'll sit down for maybe 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
We'll go through writing. We'll see what your writing looks like. Then if it's good, I'll get you a studio session. We'll go through it. We'll probably get 2 studio sessions with the best engineer that I can find.
Okay.
If you make it, because it's a hard process. If you make it through that process, cool, boom. Then we talk about releasing. Okay. And releasing, I'll probably say we'll release it in a couple of months, not immediately, because you got to learn. You got to learn the hustle behind releasing.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There's a process with it.
There's a process.
Yeah, you can't make that too quick.
Exactly. So if you came to me and wanted to release something, it's like a school. I'd have to teach you the education behind it. I'd probably have you watch interviews of your favorite artists. I'd probably have you go through your favorite fashion blogs and whatnot, and what album artworks you like and what you don't. And then by the end of maybe 2 months, you'll have an idea of your sound and what you want to look like.
Okay, so do you say you specially target people that are new to the industry or seasoned artists?
I would say seasoned now.
Okay.
When I was starting, that's the only people. The beginners is the only people that I could, kind of reach. But my mentality is on a different level, and I just had to prove that to people. So there was a time where it was cool working with people up and coming, but now it's like I got to work with the top people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the goal.
How do people find you? Like if they want to know about getting representation? Yeah,
my Instagram. I had a website last year, but I didn't have the knowledge, so the website was good for nothing.
Yeah.
But if I'm out there. If you go to concerts, you'll probably see me. I booked 10 shows last summer.
Okay.
My Instagram as well.
Okay.
And word of mouth too, and that's just how it should be.
Nice.
Yeah, I like keeping it like straightforward. If you know me, cool. And most people who get it and get what I do, they'll introduce me to the right people. You know what I'm saying? It's
cool, man.
Yeah.
How do you collab? Tell me how you network. What's your like style? Like, I mean, you obviously it's a grind, right?
Yeah.
Everything that we do is a grind, right?
Yeah.
You want to get to that next piece.
Yeah.
How do you get those? Put yourself into those situations where you can do that.
Yeah. Network. It depends who. Well, I go for the people with like I'm telling you, I try to go for people like Jay-Z and Diddy and like at that level. So
yeah, there's a saying, shoot for the stars because you might hit the moon.
Yeah,
right?
So
because you never know.
Exactly, because I don't want to sound arrogant. Like I don't network with a lot of label people in the city. But mentally, I feel like I'm on a different level. Like I feel like I'm a universal music A&R level or better. So when it comes to networking in the city, I don't really do it as much. But when I go out of the city is where I'm everywhere, man. At every party, every restaurant, every studio session, everybody's house. Like I go around, and that's my networking. And I don't really push it too much. Like, yo, I have a label. Maybe I could help out in the studio session, or yo, I got a label. This is the music I released, or I'm just cool with it. I just, just be real cool, just see how people move, and really study about what you're trying to do and who you're trying to meet. If I want to meet a manager, I'll probably find out where his favorite coffee shop is or favorite restaurant, and I'll just go there. And you never know, they might show up, and it's happened. And it's definitely happened. And these people see you there. Oh, cool. He knows my spot. It's cool.
Nice.
What's going on? Nice to meet you. Yeah, I have a label. It's all good. And you keep it real short, and the people will respect you, because I don't like pressuring people.
Yeah, because you're respecting their time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once people really
but
see that.
But you're still saying hello.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a saying in LA, I was telling you this, they say, it's who you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was talking to a writer in LA, and he's like, look, that doesn't apply in Los Angeles. It's not who you know. It's who knows you.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's literally like that. If
yeah.
they remember they met you.
Yeah.
2 years ago at some obscure
100%.
festival, and it's like, oh yeah, Michael.
Yeah.
And then
I do research. Like I'm like Nardwar. Like I do research. Like if I like this manager, like Sean Pecas or Kareem Biggs, who started up Rock Nation. Like I'll watch like 10 of their interviews, and if I see them in public, I'll be, oh man, I really appreciate what you did like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, man, that's how you're young, man. How you know about that? And it's how.
Yeah.
So
they know you got a pulse on what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't just want to be a player. But
so expansion is always like a big piece of many businesses, right?
Yeah.
And you say you've been able to expand in New York and LA.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So New York was the first time I went was for the Grammys, and then I kept going back and forth, New York, LA. And when I was doing this, it was just out of pocket. There was nothing going on. Like, these are big cities. You got to play with the big dogs, like if you're out there. But I was everywhere, like I was saying. And people
costs a lot of money to be there for 24 hours.
It does. But people started recognizing me. They're like, I've seen you here. I've seen you there. And those people have kind of led me to either helping me run my business while I'm not there, and connecting me with the people that I need to, like the right people. There's a few offers in New York that are looking good, and that was all from just being persistent, like back and forth, going to New York, meeting with this person, and I got a phone call one day, like, we're interested in you running this. Come back to New York. And I came back to New York recently, and they're like, we want you. So go back to Toronto and set it up.
Okay.
I heard that's how Cardinal got his offer from Akon. That Cardinal went all over the world. He went to the most obscure hip hop festivals in Japan, like North Africa, and Akon saw him a couple of times. And was like, hey. And when he finally heard his music, he made him an offer, because he knew that this guy would do his work ethic. He was going worldwide before he was even known. And there's something about that, right? He knew that Akon knew it wouldn't be a waste of his time to try to align him to the next level.
Exactly.
But the whole thing of like, I got a dream. This is my destiny, and then you sit at home. And you wait for someone to call you. There's a tomfoolery about it. Tomfoolery, one of my favorite words. When you say that you feel at your next level, in terms of your mentality, you're not trying, right? There's this whole thing, like Yoda, one of my favorite icons in the world, says there is no try. Only do or don't.
No, it's true.
You like that,
That was good.
But there is no try. So it's literally, I'm not trying. It's just, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. So that's obviously rooted in belief. Where's your belief structure come from? Like, why do you believe that? Like, did you just one day while you're, having a Dickie D's popsicle, you're just like, I'm going to have a label. Sometimes it's like that. You just say it and it sticks with you. And obviously, for us, I ask because the recognition of your belief is just as important as the belief. Right? Like where you're at the Grammys and you're like, this is for me. And you recognize I'm not intimidated by this. Like I want to sink my teeth in these circles.
100%.
Most people would, for the most part, if they were literally put with the titans of an industry, they would shrink. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So talk about that belief.
So I think it's just coming from like the background of failure over and over again.
Interesting.
And it was at a point where like I knew I wanted to do something creative, and once music came about, it's like something in your heart and your mind. It's like, okay, this is for you, but only you are gonna want to work for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it took me a while because I had a label. I told myself, I'm gonna have a label, but then like until you really start seeing the work and things start to, like this interview and other interviews that I've had too, and when people start recognizing who you are and they appreciate you, that's when it's like, oh, like I really got this for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's a daily routine like for you? What's your thing?
How many push-ups? How many push-ups?
Yeah. Funny. I was just talking. Yeah, I did some push-ups today.
Yeah. Look at that.
Daily. Let me see. If it's a press day like today, I have this ain't the only one either. I'm moving today.
Yeah.
So today woke up 8 a.m. Watched a few interviews so I know how to conduct myself and people that I'm inspired by. So like research, go to first interview, knock that out, and then do some more research on the way to the next one. And there's a few meetings and calls today. So let's say it's a press day, you have meetings, you have interviews, and you take calls. If it's a show day, show day is basically like my messiest day because I'm not up here. Like I'm gone. Like I just want to make sure that people get to the show. So show days, I'm probably doing more promotion. I'm probably on the phone for half of the day. I'm at the venue for the whole day pretty much. A lot of coffee on show days. A lot of coffee and yelling on show days, What else? If I'm going to do a release day, music release day, then it's sitting either at my office or at home in front of the computer and just making sure every post is aligned, making sure everything looks crisp, making sure the record came out on time, making sure the streams are coming in, making sure that the royalties are there. And if it's a studio day, then that's kind of like, I do a lot of production. So if it's a studio day, I try not to really go outside. I just mentally, we want to get right for the studio and then go spend 6 hours and make a hit song or try to at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone tries,
Yeah.
They hope.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you were bringing up about some family. It's amazing that you said that your belief, the confidence to feel that you belong or that you can get something done comes from your failure.
Yeah.
It's not from your success.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That I guess maybe because you realize you can get through it.
Yeah.
We were kind of talking about this in an opening segment before you came on.
Yeah.
If you're going through hell, keep going. That there's something about just stick to whatever it is.
Yeah.
The only way to actually lose is if you quit.
Yeah.
So what happens to the guy who just doesn't quit? No matter what you're hit with, you keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, 100%.
What are you looking to have happen? So you're obviously, I think with you, when we were talking before the show started, you're on a journey, and I think you know your feet are on the ground, what you're about. I can sense that from you right now.
Yeah.
Where do you want your feet to take you? What are some of the experiences that you're hoping for? It may have nothing to do with music. It might just be music is the vehicle to get you to build or to or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What's it for you? If you could look back and be like, man, I made my mark the way I wanted to. What did that look like?
One of them is like crazy, but I would definitely open up a school. Like a really good school, like 100%, and I'd be very involved in that. Make a cool little like basketball team at the school, but like have a really good school overall with a really good sports team, and education has to be, on point. As like education also saved my life too. So because I'm very wise and I paid attention somewhat in school, but maybe not physically, but mentally I did. So I would open up a school, and fashion for sure. I would definitely like to be known as the label guy who's like a fashion icon. Also has a school. What else?
So I guess you like to shape things. You want to be part of just really shaping minds.
Yeah. Shaping like a whole, like just building a whole community. Around.
Where would the school be, in the city or the country?
I would build it in Toronto
Yeah.
for sure. I would probably build one in my hometown too.
Yeah.
It would be like a joint school, like I don't know what I would call it, but there would be one here and one in London.
Yeah.
And I would like to go
Northside
back.
Academy.
Yeah, maybe.
Boom. There
Maybe.
you go.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
would definitely like to go back to St. Vincent and help out as much as I can.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Why school? I mean, like, think about that. Imagine LeBron built a school
Mhm,
last year.
mhm.
Imagine
Yeah.
building a school,
Yeah,
and there's hundreds of kids
yeah.
that now have an opportunity.
Mhm,
At the core, if you were to address these kids, imagine there's 611
mhm.
students there.
Yeah,
You know, and whatever amount of faculty. I hope you have a good
Yeah.
ratio of teacher
Yeah,
to
yeah,
student,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Come on now.
yeah.
If you're gonna
You gotta-
improve the ratio,
You got it.
what would you say to the kids if they're in front of you?
Well, I used to
Michael Upfold.
I used to do public speaking for TDSB, and I watched how people reacted and how inspired they were before like any of the music came about, you know. And I just and people, like, a lot of people came up to me after, were like, man, thank you so much, like I'm going through the same thing, or I wanted to have a job in construction. I got like 5 people jobs. Like another 5 I kept in touch with, they're doing well, like extremely well. And just the like reaching a certain group of people who might not be as fortunate, or they've gone through some things,
Mhm.
and having somebody represent for them is all somebody needs. And then that's good for the families too, because now their kids or their childs are in school, they're in a safe school, and they have somebody that they can look up to.
Nice, man.
Yeah, nice.
One of the things that you said earlier, which I liked, is
Yeah.
that you want to build an empire.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
What do you think it takes to build an empire? Like, and what's your plan to build this empire?
yeah. So the first 10 years is gonna be a crazy grind. Maybe 10 or 5 years. But Empire, let's say 10 years is gonna be like a crazy grind. Whether it's in fashion, music, trying to build a school, anything. It's just got to be a grind, doing the craziest part. No matter what success comes by, I'm still going to be like focused. And then after 5-10 years, I'll look at all the executives that I've met from each company or each kind of segment, and we'll build like a Rock Nation type thing.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
nice.
look, it's amazing to be, where you're at right now. We've accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
How often are you going out to like New York and LA? Since you got locations there.
I want to say every other month. I'm gonna be here in Toronto for the summer.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you in Kauai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say every other month.
Okay.
At
Nice.
the I try to do it more.
Okay.
But yeah, every other month I try to travel.
The Atlanta scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's famous for its music, man. It's
Yeah.
just famous for its music.
Yeah.
That
That was my favorite place to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard so many amazing things
This is my
about
favorite
Atlanta.
place.
They have
Yeah.
an
And about-
amazing,
and about the
they have an
music.
amazing
Yeah.
aquarium there, the Georgia Aquarium.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That's why I went.
Yeah.
But
Or the music scene.
but it is cool. It
Yeah.
is
What
nice.
was it about that you felt like you had to be there? That you're part of your beginning steps you had to pass through. Like, what were you hoping to get from that?
Man, the stripes. I wanted to earn the stripes. Like, I literally went to the craziest neighborhood, like Noisy would
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
and it was dangerous. Like, I remember, like, because I don't know what I'm doing there, but I just wanted to meet somebody who was in music and like figure out their story and help them out while I was there, bring them to a studio, which I did. I got them a show as well. But Atlanta is like one of the places where you have to go to anyways, and I'd much rather go there now. And people in the streets know me because, like, you can always take the high road and be like an executive and
Yes.
pass by to not do the street thing.
Yep.
But I wanted people in the streets to be like, oh yeah, I remember him. He was that crazy dude that came from Canada, and he was just like posted up on our block. So oh yeah, but he's motivated, and now he's like an executive, so on and so forth. So you gotta have like your people's vote before you have.
Yeah.
It's not about the money for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
man.
Amazing. So truly in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's awesome.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you,
That's really cool.
Are you setting up any other shows coming up? Like, I know you've done quite a few shows. You setting one up at all this summer?
Yeah, well, we have Jazz Fest on
Yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Yes.
this Wednesday. Yeah,
It's shutting down Yorkville right
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have Jazz Fest, Claire Mortefi, on Cumberland. What else? And then the biggest shows are coming up. That's while I was in New York. So there's like bringing something very exciting to Canada, and I have a call with them actually after this.
Okay.
Yeah, and that will be like more than just shows; it's a whole movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak at all to that, or is it something you want to keep on the down low?
I'll keep on the down low. I'll
Okay.
keep on the down low. But it's a community, another community around music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you say you're bringing it to the city.
Yeah.
What is it when you look at Toronto? So you've lived in a number of places.
Yeah.
You lived in another different family dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your own family, not your
Yeah.
own family. Back on
yeah.
the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Atlanta, it's another
Yeah.
type of family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? One day you'll be family with execs.
Yeah.
Record label execs. You know.
Yeah.
Talk about Bora Bora. But before that, what's your take on Toronto? When you look at Toronto, there's obviously a wave. If you don't recognize there's a wave here, then you need to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. With the wave that's happening in the city in terms of influence, pop culture, music, Raptors, belief, anything's possible, fusion of arts, all this stuff, tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see for Toronto, and where do you see yourself fitting in it?
Yeah. Definitely somebody very well. Well, I'll put it like for Toronto, I see it. The energy is amazing, and like you said, the belief that we have in our artists, sports teams. We just have to have more belief in upcoming businesses. Like, so the way you guys believed in me
Very true.
is very dope. Like, and I always will appreciate it 100%. You know what I mean? Like, that's super dope. Doesn't matter what level I'm at.
I think the part of the juvenile thinking in our city is everyone just wants to align with the top,
Yeah.
and they neglect where they are themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if anyone's on the same playing field, it's like, you can't do
Yeah.
anything for me now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't need to know who you are,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
it's a small world. It doesn't.
Right.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, no, the best. That's why I travel so much. Is like when I was here starting, you know, we have Drake, Tory Lanez, The Weeknd.
Yes.
There's more people. But if you think about it, that's 3 big names.
Huge names.
You know, huge names. Yeah.
They're huge. They're huge in the States. They're
Exactly.
huge all over.
But when I go to the States, there's 3 people in one store who are huge.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So me seeing so many people, I when I came back here, I'm like, man, like I can I can do my own thing. I don't have to follow the path. So Toronto has a crazy vibe. Everybody's, man, when they want to support, they're gonna support. But supporting everybody else's business is pretty important too. It can be difficult sometimes because everybody wants to be OVO, EXO, but they don't want to be their own brand.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So, and that's kind of how I've like
It's where we're at. You
gone
love
this
the
far.
big. You love the big and shiny when you're young.
Yeah.
And and at some point you get to, okay,
Yeah.
what's the real goods? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of
Yeah.
I hear that. So, and anything for you as you start to grow, any thought to bring other people like along the way? Like, what are you hoping to
Yeah.
Because you said it's not about money.
Yeah.
So when you say empire,
Yeah.
most people, kids on the street, would be like, okay, you're gonna make money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
about money, just like
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What would you say to that young kid that thinks that's what you mean by empire?
Empire is way more than just money. I would say you build a family for it's building a family actually. You know, have people on your team that you actually love, you see every day, maybe you don't. Building a family who cares about your brand or what you started as much as you do, and they're willing to take the risk that you have or that I've gone through to get to my next step, their next step. And another thing too is building an empire. Every single CEO, whatever they're doing, they have their own thing. I'm not telling everybody to be just Norfside. I'm like, if you're
Exactly.
a golfer, you want to be on the team, maybe you could be the golf agent and we could sign the next Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You still have your own brand, but you want to join in with Norfside. You get what I'm saying? So empire is being powerful. Like, I want to be able to say, we're doing this and it's going to happen, you know?
Yeah. So influence.
Influence. Yeah.
Influence.
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
we've talked about this, that I think the kind of the secret sauce in Toronto, the commodity, the GDP that we're going to ship is influence.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? We won't be bigger. I don't know. Jerry, what do you think? You ever think Toronto market will be bigger than New York City? Will anybody ever touch the center of the world?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a way to have influence, right? We may not be the richest kid in high school.
Toronto has a different vibe than New York City. I mean, yes, we're a big city and everything else, and New York has the money and the fame and all that stuff, but a lot of people when they come up here, because working in the film industry, and a lot of the folks that come up from New York or from LA or whatever, the stars, they love it here. A lot more than they love it in New York or LA. I mean, they live there. That's where the money is, and so on and so forth. When they come up here, it's a totally different vibe, and they really actually enjoy it because they don't get swamped by the tourists or the paparazzi or whoever it is. And I know because I was a paparazzi for a short period of time, and I was a constant photographer there for about 5 years. So, but when I talk to them and I meet them on the street, they love it here. They could just walk around. People will ask them politely for an autograph or to take a picture. Where down there, you're just surrounded by gangs of people just chasing you everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
and it's pretty ruthless. It is ruthless.
absolutely.
There.
So Toronto,
And that's part of their monster machine that they have in terms of stardom.
for sure.
Which did you guys hear about John Tory and Nav Bhatia, the super fan? The announcement they made 2 days ago.
no.
They held. You guys didn't hear about this?
I did.
As well as Mohammed, I forget his last name, but the owner of Paramount Fine Foods.
Oh, really?
Which we might have on as a guest on the show. They made an appeal to the citizens of Toronto and basically said, did you hear about this? Nav Bhatia, he basically said, look, I know you're excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've been to every game. I've never been late. I've never left early. But give Kauai his space.
I read
And,
that. Yeah.
and it was literally like they were,
I think that was too much.
it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like,
it
come
was
on.
cute.
I mean,
No,
does
give
that?
him the space.
No, but I mean, I guess they might have some inside info, some inside intel.
Yeah,
remember,
no,
remember, it's
We want
always
to keep him here.
If I get caught one more time at a Jays game and I get interrupted, I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
let the man get boxes at Home Depot. Let the guy have dinner
just let him
at
enjoy himself.
Yeah, but so I guess at some point the city's been going crazy following him. And
See,
he's-
that's just like give the man a break. He gave you a championship.
Yeah.
Now
They actually
give him
instructed-
a couple of weeks to kind of like chill out with the family.
now
and
it's
hang
fresh. It's only been a week since the win.
Could
You know,
this
just
even
over-
happen in the U.S.? I mean, can you imagine that?
Think about
It
this.
would never happen.
So Nav Bhatia opens up the press conference with this appeal. It's the cutest thing. I loved it. And then after John Tory chimes in, and John Tory says, he's like, "Listen, this is not the Toronto way. Let's just give him space. We're all excited, okay?" And he says, "The Toronto way is we're gonna sign a petition, and the petition will express that we want him to stay." So
Yes.
I think it's like KauaiYouShouldStay.com. You can go on. That's for everybody. Do it really quick. Go on, sign your petition, because petition changes lives.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
It
for
does.
sure. But you know what I'm talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
Michael, it's just
Yeah.
that the stars, when they come up here, they can actually breathe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
could take a moment and walk down the street and not
Yeah.
get harassed.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna ask you. You're the mayor of Toronto.
Yeah.
John Tory, he has to get his Raptor jacket dry cleaned.
Yeah.
They mess it up. He has to actually go and talk with the manufacturer.
Right.
And he says, "Man, the afternoon, you're the interim mayor. Fill
Yeah.
in for me, buddy."
Yeah.
And what's the first thing you do? Like, you have influence.
Yeah.
You have influence from 1 p.m.
Yeah.
till 5 p.m.
Right.
Not a minute later, because no city worker would dare
Yeah.
go over. Right?
Yes, yes.
Am I
Yeah.
right?
That's
Am I
right.
right? Okay. So, what would you do?
What would I do?
What would you do?
Have how long again?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
That's 2 potholes. You could fix. Sorry.
Hey, man. That's pretty good.
I mean, if I could,
You're the mayor
the mayor.
of
Right?
Toronto.
Can I like?
You can do whatever you want, man.
All right. So
You're
what
the
I
mayor. You got the keys.
what I would do is I would switch off. Like, I would like tune in all the radio stations, all the TVs, whatever people are watching, to this interview.
Okay.
And I make people just get inspired.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
No, that's a good hey.
Look at that.
There's our
Yeah.
promo right there.
that.
Christina,
Absolutely,
get that.
yeah.
Cut this out. Time code that.
That sounds good.
Beginning
I like
and
that.
end. That was good.
There you go,
Okay.
man.
I appreciate
Something
that.
like that for sure, though.
Yeah.
Because like in 4 hours, I was gonna round everybody up and have them be it. Like, but you can't, like, the whole city in 4 hours. So the only way you can reach people is.
What about if
through
you're going to make a
internet.
decision? Like a decision that, you know.
Yeah,
something-
you're not regulated to time.
Yeah.
Imagine it's not about the time. It's just
Yeah.
you have the conch, the
Okay,
power.
okay.
You know. Do you guys know what the conch is?
It's a snail. The form of a snail.
It's from Lord of the Rings, the shell. Sorry, Lord of the Flies. Remember Lord of the Flies, the old
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
And whoever held the conch was allowed to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
What would I do?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
I would.
Okay, why are you thinking? The conch, it's a shell.
Oh my God, no. He's going to get into music is what he's going to do. He's going to make sure that everybody
No,
comes
I
out.
asked.
He's going to hold a concert on
Look.
Nathan Phillips Square.
Don't
that
think
works.
about it. I'd say this. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
To me, this is who you are. Who are you?
Well, I would-
you're someone. You have the power. You have the
Yeah.
influence. Everything you're building to. So now you have it right now. Literally, John Torrey's a good buddy of ours.
Well,
So
I would-
if you have a good answer, we're gonna call him.
I would make education free.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's post-secondary.
Post-secondary, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Why?
Cool, man.
Yeah, because
Why?
I feel like some people are extremely talented and brilliant, but they don't have the funding and they don't have the funds, and it's very hard to get OSAP. And it's, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you have an idea, if you want to contribute to your community or the world, you shouldn't have to pay $40,000 to do that.
Yeah. It's getting
Or
more
more.
expensive.
Or more.
Anybody
yes.
aware of which countries that are thriving, where they've made it to work, that you don't have to pay for post-secondary
Is
school?
it Paris?
I was going to say
I
that
think so.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else know?
Somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
There's
Somewhere
a
in
couple places.
Europe.
No, there's a couple places. I think it's Denmark is one of them.
Yeah,
or
I think so.
Some one. Some Scandinavian countries have been working
Yeah.
that way.
Which, I mean, they're like the leaders when it comes to education.
It is, yeah.
Which, by the way, I think Finland is the top education
I think
system
so,
in the
too.
world.
Yeah.
And kids start at age 7.
They're also
Yeah.
taxed to death too.
Yeah,
so.
but they're happy
I
people.
mean, so are we.
Yeah.
No, but again, they
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
they start at age 7. They start
And
at
we're
age
not
7.
happy.
You know why you know why kids in Finland start school at age 7?
Why?
And they literally, by the time that they graduate at 17, they're well ahead of everybody, the rest of
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
It's because of family.
Mm-hmm.
The government realized that there's nothing stronger than the nucleus and structure of family.
Yeah.
So it's not about them learning ABCs and being
Right.
able to, distinguish celery
Right.
and carrot sticks during
Yeah.
snack time.
Right.
Okay, and what's Play-Doh?
Yes.
or what's edible and what's not.
Yes.
It's literally just be with your family.
Yeah.
And being with your family is what will help you
Yeah.
to be a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Education.
Good.
Okay, you
100%.
got my vote.
There
Yeah.
you go. Well,
Sounds good.
I don't know if I like the concept, but I
Yeah.
think, as Jerry said, we might be going into 40% tax brackets if everyone has to pay for their
Oh, keep
education.
going higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I want to hear
cares
more
about
about the music.
Yeah.
Who cares about the
Yeah,
logistics?
exactly.
Yeah.
Who cares? How do people find you? I mean, I know you mentioned already.
Yeah.
Why don't you throw it out right now? How people
Yeah.
can find Michael Upfold,
Yeah,
Norfside
so
Entertainment.
Norfside Entertainment. My Instagram is like where I'm always doing something. So at official Upfold is Upfold UPFOLD is my last name. Norfside Entertainment on Instagram as well, and that's where you find me. That's
Okay.
just where I'm most active, responsive. I post all the shows, everything that I do. Yeah,
Great.
And
Yeah.
Norfside again is NORF.
Yes.
Exactly.
SIDE.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We the
That's it.
North.
We the North.
The North.
Michael,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming down, man.
Thank you so
It's
much.
been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Norfside Entertainment.
Yes.
This is where it's at.
Yes.
Make sure you check them out. Once again, the
100%.
label is at, or not the label, the Instagram handle,
Is it
just
at official Upfold.
at official Upfold.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Perfect.
Look, keep in touch with us. Let us know what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yes.
Whether
And thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely,
I know I
man.
sent a few messages, and I'm glad we got through. And
yeah, it's
For
all
sure.
good. It's all
Super
good.
happy.
We
For
hope the
sure.
best for you. We hope that as you go,
Yeah.
make your mark. Do your
Yeah.
thing. Stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Surround yourself with good people.
100%.
When people show themselves who they are,
Yeah.
and you don't like it, believe them.
them.
Yeah.
Believe
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and just move on to the next and do
Yeah.
and do what you got to do.
There you go.
100%.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well,
Thank
thanks
you.
very much, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
Say hi to
Yeah.
John Torrey.
I will.
Listen to this episode on iTunes and Spotify. Make sure to drop by next week. And don't forget to subscribe.
Let's go!
It's time to give a shout out to our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Sentinel Security Plus. For all your premium security needs, visit sentinelsecurityplus.com.
And The Substance Group for all your integrated marketing solutions. Visit thesubstancegroup.com.